writing is very crucial. So in report writing, you need to keep few things in mind. I'll give you a sample report. I'll write down a sample report here. I'll just give a sample report, easy for you to understand. Okay, this is my sample report. Okay, so if you see, first thing what you have to do is, okay, first thing, there are 5 important aspects of any report. One is summary. Okay, one is summary, description, steps to reproduce, POC, that means proof of content. You need to attach a recording or screenshots and recordings are mandatory. Okay, and a recording should not go beyond 1 minute. Actually, a video recording should be not more than 40 seconds. Remember this. Okay, it should not be more than 40 seconds. You have to do it quick and send, you have to record the video. You can use many softwares are available to record video, and in Kali Linux there is a pre-installed recording software. Okay, you can use it in order to record the video, the screen. Okay, screen recording you have to do. Clear, guys? Okay, so first of all, you need summary of the vulnerability, description of it, steps to reproduce. That means what are the steps you have to take in order to perform or in order to reproduce the vulnerability. So you have to say, step 1, go to the so and so URL. Step 2, new network, click on new network option. Step 3, name, enter this payload. Okay, on the name field, enter this payload. Step 4, click on run and save. Click on save. So XSS will be triggered. So demonstration of the vulnerability is there in this POC video. Okay, so it has been tested on Firefox and Chrome. Impact, the attacker can steal the data. Whoever checks in the report, attacker will be able to steal that data. Clear, guys? These are the 5 important things. And also you can write down mitigation, which is optional, but if you write mitigation also, it will be more authentic. Mitigation. So mitigation will be available in Google. So for any vulnerability, you can just type the vulnerability name and mitigation in Google. You'll be getting mitigations. Clear, everyone? Summary, description, steps to reproduce, proof of content, and impact. Mitigation optional, but if you write mitigations also, that's fine. So these are the major important steps you have to take care while writing a report. And report writing plays a major role. Use a good language while writing a report. It plays a major role because, for example, okay, if you found a cross-site scripting vulnerability and your report is not that good, so they might give you, let's say, $100. And if you find the same cross-site scripting vulnerability, and if your report is very good, so clearly they can understand all the concept, so they'll give you probably $1,000. Okay, so you'll have lot of difference with the report writing. The impact on people, while seeing the report plays a major role. Got it, everyone? Okay, these are the main elements. Okay, these are the main elements. And coming to the next part, when it comes to NCII PC, like government, if you are reporting a government website, okay, if you are reporting a government website, you need to visit this web page. Okay, that is NCII PC engagewithus.html. You need to visit this web page for NCI for reporting a government website. So it's very simple. This NCI, this government website reporting is very easy. So if you go to this URL, can you all see this? Scroll down and reporting, incident reporting. Okay, incident reporting form. So if you click on this, can you all see incident reporting? 1 minute. This is not web application. 1 minute. Yeah, if you visit this URL, Control Z, yeah, this one. Okay, vulnerability disclosure program, RVDP. So if you go to this website, this URL, so if you can see how to report. Okay, so there is a vulnerability disclosure form. Can you see this, everyone? Vulnerability disclosure form. Okay, so if you click on this vulnerability disclosure form, if you click on it, you'll get this form. Okay, you need to fill this form. Fill this form with your name, details, everything, email, everything. Fill it. You can leave this empty. Okay, and you can check what type of vulnerability it is. Vulnerability name, let's say XSS. Okay, vulnerability category, it comes under XSS. Is it reflected or stored base? You have to write. So reflected XSS, and you can see vulnerability category XSS. Description. So I have written the sample report right here. Can you see the description? Stored based XSS, also known as persistent XSS, is more damaging than non-persistent. It occurs when malicious script is injected directly into vulnerable web application. Okay, so you need to write down description and steps to reproduce. You have to write down steps to reproduce, and you have to after writing down all these scenarios, after writing description, after saying that vulnerability category type is web application, and then date found, you have to write today's date whenever you have found it. Okay, steps to reproduce, I have told you, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, you have to write down here. Okay, and whether the POC or screenshots are attached, yes, it has been attached. Okay, so reported to the affected organization, no, you don't have to report. It's not mandatory to directly report to the affected organization. You are directly reporting it to NCII PC. Okay, so affected organization name, you can write down that government website name. You can give that government website URL which is getting affected. Okay, so affected organization email, it's optional. And vulnerability product type, it's a web application, obviously. And the product name and version, it's not needed. Okay, if reported, email ID to whom you have reported, there is no, I don't report to anyone, so you can leave it empty. Reported date, empty. Patch released, you can say yes. If patch is released, release date, you don't know, so you can keep it empty. Anonymity, no, or yes, if you are using some VPN proxy, or if you're not, just keep no, that's fine. Clear, everyone? Okay, so I'll attach a sample report which I have filled. Okay, see this, full name, email, organization is not mandatory, vulnerability type, stored base XSS, vulnerability XSS, description. Okay, and then what category, date when you found, and steps to reproduce, and the website, the organization name, let's say Indian Navy. So what is the URL of that Indian Navy? This one. So organization affected, email, it's not mandatory, but you can give if you know email. And it's a vulnerability, product type, web application, patch release, yes. And remaining you can leave it empty. Clear everyone? How for government websites, how to submit report? Okay, so you have to fill this form, and to this email ID, that is rvdp@nciipc.gov.in. To this email ID, what you have to do is download this form, click on this, download it with your changes, click on this, it will get downloaded. So what you have to do is you have to send an email attaching that PDF and screenshots and video POC, proof of content, you have to attach and send it to them. Clear everyone? Okay, simple. Fill the PDF, download it, and to this email submit, you have to attach that PDF and video POCs and screenshots, proof of content, you have to attach and send it to them. Okay, so that is how you can report for government websites. For private organizations, if you are choosing some programs which are available in public platforms, okay, like Backrowd is a public platform. So let's say you are selecting a public platform. So if you see programs, select a program, select any program, and if you click on submit report, once you find a vulnerability, click on submit report, log in with your details. Okay, so can you see? You have to register first in this website, in this Backrowd platform, and you can log in with your details. And here you find the website, right? So submission title. So give the submission. What is the vulnerability about? Let's say XSS. Okay. So target. What is your, in that website? What was your target? Okay. Let's say HubSpot.com. And then which category it is. It comes under XSS. Whether it is a reflected, that is self, non-self, you have to tell. So let's say non-self. Okay, now here you have to tell what type of, in which URL is it getting infected, which URL is getting affected. So I'll give some URL. Okay, the affected URL we have to give, and here you have to write down description. The description is, you all know, right? The valuable, important main elements of the description. You have to write down description, in that steps to reproduce. Okay, description, steps to reproduce, impact, and mitigation. These are the 4 things you have to fill in. Description, steps to reproduce, that is how to reproduce the attack, and then impact you have to write down, and mitigation you have to write. Okay, and then afterwards you can leave this empty, or you can take Burp Suite and you have to capture the request and give it here, but it's not needed. And you have to attach POCs, proof of content, the video files and screenshots you have to attach here. Okay, and say I have followed the program brief and submit report the vulnerability. Clear guys? For all public platforms, the same procedure while submitting the report. Everything will be there, you just have to fill in the details. Clear guys? Everyone? For all public platforms like HackerOne, Backrowd and all, it's same. Now the thing is, people might be wondering, sir, it's difficult for me to frame sentences, and I'm too lazy to write reports or so. If there is someone like that, what you can do is there is a simple method also. You can simply, in HackerOne, Bugcrowd, there is a disclosure program. What happens is, after a website fixing the vulnerability, after a company, after let's say a hacker has submitted a report to a XYZ company, and that XYZ company has accepted the vulnerability and they have fixed the vulnerability. So once they have fixed the vulnerability, they can allow that vulnerability to be disclosed in public, so that other people can see what type of vulnerability was there, was existing in this website, and how did the researcher find it out, what payload they have used, their screenshots, screen recording, everything you can see. Okay, so that is disclosure. They are allowing that vulnerability to get disclosed. So for example, you can what you can do is, in here just type in URL. Okay, in URL HackerOne, okay, XSS. For let's say you have found XSS, so you can type HackerOne XSS, click enter. So can you see this? These are all XSS reports. Clear, guys? These are all XSS reports. You'll find n number of XSS reports, so many 100,000 lakhs of XSS reports. Like that, any vulnerability you found, you can search for that particular vulnerability in HackerOne. You'll find report. Let's say XSS report. Click on this. Okay. So here you'll be able to see how did the person report the vulnerability. Can you see this? Summary of this XSS, description of the XSS, steps to reproduce, demonstration of the vulnerability. You can click on this and download that video and see how did that person record the video. Okay, and you can see tested on Firefox, Chrome, impact, the attacker can steal the data, and also if you want you can add on mitigations too. Clear? Simple technique. So any vulnerability you found, what you do is go to Google, search for HackerOne, that particular vulnerability name you give. So you'll get so many vulnerabilities, so many XSS vulnerabilities reports. So you can, what you do is visit like 5 to 10 reports. Okay, 5 to 10 vulnerability reports you visit, and you check out which report is good. Okay, which report has a good terminologies and all. Accordingly you can just copy it, paste it, and do your changes, make some changes in it, and submit the report. Clear, everyone? A simple process, a shortcut. Is that fine? Got it? Yes. So is it clear how to write report? So you can write down report this way. You can, if at all there is private bug bounty platform, they'll give you email, right? So what you do is document it, write down all this concept, document it in a document, write down in a document, and while sending them email, in the email description, tell them that this is an emergency, this is the vulnerability we have found. It is a high level critical bug or so. Just highlight them, so that when they see the email directly, they have to see that there is a vulnerability in your website. So they'll get triggered, and then they'll open the mail, then they'll read down everything, and attach the documents and proof of content and screenshot, so that they can open it and check it out. Clear, everyone? So while sending an email, make sure that you highlight that vulnerability disclosure, or highlight that vulnerability found in your website, so that immediately when they see email, they'll be able to see that there is something very serious issue in their website. They have to think that way. And you have to explain what kind of vulnerability it is and all, and tell them that open the documents in order to get more information about it. Okay, I have attached proof of content and all in a document. So in the attachments, please check out the attachments. If you tell that, they'll check the attachments and they'll find out, they'll understand what kind of vulnerability it is, and they'll acknowledge you. Clear, everyone? Okay. Yes. All right. And finally, this is about submission of reports, and this is where you can find out bug bounty programs and all. I hope you got the introduction of bug bounty, and you also got to